Okay guys, in my personal opinion, this was the best quarter of Virgin Galactic ever, and we will dive into a couple of categories in this vlog. For once, we go into the topic of the November test flight. We will go into the unveil of the next spaceship, we will talk about the delays, we will talk about the first $1 billion revenue with the spaceports and NASA revenues, and then finally my conclusion. I went over and over and over through the earnings call of Virgin Galactic and make tons of notice and paid attention to those details, and all of that you will see now in this vlog. So smashing the like button and smashing the subscription button is very important to me and very highly appreciated. You have everyday content here, sometimes 3-4 videos per day together on my second channel. So subscribe on both channels and I will be happy to welcome you as a new subscriber. Now I want to make sure that we are on the same page here, okay? I was listening to those calls very closely, and I listened at least, 3-4 times to just make sure I don't miss any details. And this is very important, guys. If you are interested into a company, if you're invested into a company, and you shouldn't have, more than 3 to 5 stocks in your most optimal phase, because more you just cannot as one person follow. And therefore, I think that it's important to listen to those calls very closely. And I really like this call, to be honest. I think this is one of the best calls ever for Virgin Galactic with Michael Koglaser. He is making a tremendous job, in my opinion, what it means to answer, very tricky questions sometimes. And, I want to begin with the November test flights. He, directly put away all of the questions about the delays, because they said, there is no delay. Okay, there is no delay, because he said that the only dates that they gave was the FFA regulations flying window for them to operate, which was, back in October, which, people thought maybe this will be the dates, the final dates for the test flights. The test flights will now happen between the 19th and 23rd of November. And he told us a little bit more about what happened behind the scenes, which I found very curious. He, for example, told us, that they installed part of the cabin, and in the next test flight they will have, not only the NASA payload, but also they will have some mannequins sitting in the places of the future customers, and they installed the live streaming equipment. So I don't know, he didn't say it, but maybe we will have a live stream or live stream footage from the next flight, which would be impressively nice. Okay, they installed also camera systems and so on. So there's things going on that we think, why it's taking so long, but those are very high engineering questions. And he said it many times, and he said it again, the overall top priority is always safety. And if they feel good, and they feel still good about the next couple of flights, 3-4 test flights will be there, definitely 3 that are confirmed. So the next one, then the one that is basically the rehearsal with all the cabin installed and everything, and 4 test customers, and then in the end of Q1 Richard Branson flight. So I'm super pumped, guys. I feel that we are coming closer and closer to the really big unveiling and this historic date. And but there's a but, okay, which we will talk about in the delay category. So the unveiling of the next spaceship that not will be only much better in efficiency. So Michael Koglaser explained it to us in the earnings call as following. So he thinks that, the number of flights will be increased. He didn't want to tell us how many or how much of an increasement, like the double of amount or, just a couple. But he said there's huge improvements to the other spaceships that are obviously integrated into the next spaceship, and he said that there will be an event unveiling the spaceship, and this will be obviously a huge milestone for the company. And I love this because, you know, events and PR and marketing exactly around this area is obviously very, very interesting and very, very positive. And this will be done in the next couple of weeks and months to come. So I hope that, we see this event maybe somewhere in the Q1. I mean, Q1 is very busy for Virgin Galactic already, but maybe we can squeeze that event in, because this would be an absolutely fantastic push for the stock, and I would love to see that on the stock market with Virgin Galactic. Now, on the other hand, this kind of improvements is necessary to always improve the product, right? There's so many things to consider if talking about spaceships that, even Michael Glazer said, it's not that easy, and he was so surprised by the talent and technical development that Virgin Galactic has. It's much better than he ever expected before joining even this space company, okay? So this is obviously a very, very positive sign here, and I really like how Michael Glazer steered, through all the questions, and let's dive into the next category. Then he was asked, Michael Glazer, by one of the analysts that how he explained the delay, and he directly explained it well, that there was no delays. There was this flight windows and so on, as we discussed in the first category. But I feel, okay, because you need to take also all the bearish arguments and bearish aspects of such a call and understand, do they do something to, just make the investors happy in the call? And this could be the case in terms of, he was asked if they expect any delays, and his answer was basically that they feel good, okay, which is great, positive. But I feel that, he said something that they always try to say after the test flights. They always say, we need to review all the data, we need to feel that all our engineering people are feeling fine, and all of this sayings is repetitive, and in my personal opinion, it's something of insurance character that they build in, okay? They will tell us later on, if, let's say, we will move the Richard Branson flight to the second quarter, they will say, hey, listen, we said in the conference call last quarter that we feel good, but it's not like 100% the case. It could be that our engineers feel better when we do it just a week or 2 weeks, or maybe 1 or 2 months, or maybe a quarter later, which then they, will get back to this statement and will say, hey, we said, we feel good, but, it always can change. So, however, for my personal opinion, that's not a deal breaker at all, guys, okay? So I'm super confident. Even after the call, I feel even more confident, maybe than ever, that this company is really, really successful in what they are doing. I feel like Michael Glazer making a tremendous job. I feel he is a very, very interesting CEO, how he answers questions, even how much knowledge he has about some engineering questions as well. I feel like this is tremendous, right? For a CEO to know so much about the engineering without an engineering background. So, and he always said that he has so much experience to take concepts that he did also from Disney, right? To build this into very, very profitable and economical, stable operations. And I think, this experience that he will build with Virgin Galactic will be one of the best worldwide. And if you want to have also one of the best experiences worldwide, make sure to check out the join button. The join button will show you which memberships I have to offer. You can support the channel with the gold membership. You can get the Real Wolf membership, which gives you access to our Discord, where we have a Virgin Galactic channel where all the investors of Virgin Galactic, of this community, all talk together 24 hours, or you go even for the diamond tier, which gives you one-on-one with me over email or social media. We can, touch base every now and then and talk about your ideas, your portfolio, and, I think this is a huge value. Check it out, and let's dive into the next category. One of those analysts that we know already from Tesla, Adam Jonas from JP Morgan, he is obviously also very interested into the space industry, okay? He's following the newest industries, the most developing industries, and I think that is fantastic to see him now very, very bullish on Virgin Galactic, okay? Once he was very, very negative on Tesla. However, let him be our friend for now, and let him ask those questions. I really like the question that he asked, for once, he asked the specific, in the presentation of the Q3, they had a revenue mentioned by NASA. And they ask, what is the revenue magnitude for these payloads that NASA is putting on the next powered flight? And apparently they will get from NASA $400,000 for the payload. Can you imagine how much money, they can make by just making this kind of missions? Payloads, test equipment, people and research professors shooting up there. I think there's a huge way of creating revenue, not only from the niche of the tourism section, but having, payloads flying with passengers as well, So you can imagine, okay, let's assume that, considering the data that we have now from the presentation, those 400 flights that they want to make per spaceport per year, which will result in about like $400,000 per flight, plus several payloads by governmental and agencies. We know that they're having already an agreement with NASA, but they also making agreements with Canada, space authorities, and so on around the world. So I think this is just the beginning, and imagine they can make several millions dollars by one flight only. This would be a very, very lucrative business for Virgin Galactic, very, very lucrative niche. And this is, always the beginning of businesses. Always they start with the very, very strong statement in terms of profitability and as well as margins. Obviously, we see the similar things with Tesla. When they launch a new product, the margins are quite high and going slower in the time that we are developing, right? So I think, it's a fantastic way to be on board with Virgin Galactic, and I just see, this huge opportunity, and I'm really liking how they developed, this kind of revenue streams. And I think that Michael Koglaser said something very important, that he said, they are having this goal, and this is a multi-year goal, is to have 400 flights per year, several spaceports, though he don't wanted to go into the details of the international expansion as of yet, because he said he want to now focus with the team on the operational start of this company, which will be a huge milestone. And I think that it's a fantastic way that he leads through all of these questions. Even those questions were specific sometimes, many of the things are still very vague, so obviously he cannot give specific answers. And he said also that the revenue that he claimed to have at one point of time with 1 billion per year will be not only from the tourism section, but also, all the experiences around. What it will be exactly, well, this and much more in the next couple of weeks and months to come. So the conclusion, if you still haven't pressed and destroyed the subscribe button and ring the bell and the like button obviously as well, then I would like to ask you to do it right now, because we are in the last few minutes of this vlog, and I would like to express how much I really like this conference call. I think this was the best earnings call that was ever done by Virgin Galactic. So the number of questions that were answered, you remember last quarter earnings, we didn't have questions, right, that were done by analysts or even allowed by analysts, so we don't know. Then, we had the Michael Koglaser that was so great on so many levels, engineering wise, he was precise, but also, vague where he has to be. He gave some answers to some very hard questions. He never had to ask, any other person to talk about for him. He didn't, said like, okay, no, this question needs to be answered by this person. I feel like the overall chemistry just fitted. He said like how impressive he was by the talent of Virgin Galactic, that, he has so many interesting characters there in the team, and he spoke very, very well about the team. He thanked the team once again for such a fantastic development. He said, now the company is on the verge from R&D into production, and the most important part will be, how to scale and create this unbelievable experience. He said, it's too early to talk about this, specific numbers, flights, improvements into hardware. This is all something that they will figure out on the way, but it's definitely huge to see how much passion this guy already developed for Virgin Galactic, and you know, I think we are very impressive how we go from here. Okay, I think that we having a fantastic team, a fantastic development. You know, the 30% or almost 30% more into the reservations. It's just a tremendous step in showing that supply will be the most important challenge that Virgin Galactic will have, not the demand. And you know, they are, and he said this, very flexible on the pricing policy, which is also fantastic for a company, right? Imagine you have a company that can be so flexible on pricing because they have so much demand for years fully booked, so they can really go and say, you know, we want to have, you know, for the first flights, you know, 800,000, maybe 600,000, $1 million per flight. We don't know, right? But this is something that is very much in the room. So very interesting call, guys. If you want to listen it to yourself, make sure to go on the investor relationship of Virgin Galactic, and then you can hear to the webcast. It's like a 50-minute pure information, guys. If you're invested in Virgin Galactic, make sure, even after you saw this video, go there, just listen to it, learn from it, and I am here to support you. Let me know any questions in the comments below, and have a safe flight.